What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber die trying. You see the thumbnail. Is divorce a catalyst for white collar crime? So I was watching Startup. I kept hearing, my family kept telling me to watch Startup. So in the very first episode, main character got into a intimate moment and then a altercation with his ex-wife. And what winds up happening, at some point, she's like, "You're just the same old guy, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "You're just in here because, you got your pension. So what are you tripping about?" And he says, "No, I don't have my pension. You got my pension in a divorce." And she slapped him for that. And thus, after that fact, he was going down the road of crime. I'm like, oh, he's shaking down criminals for money to get what he got from his pension. And I realized something in that moment, that in a lot of the crime movies where a cop goes rogue, or an agent goes rogue, or business owner goes rogue, or a lot of this stuff had to do with divorce. Catching your wife cheating, she's leaving, and now all of a sudden, to make up the difference. They're not stories. There are not as many shows as Breaking Bad would be to pay for medical bills and this, that, and the third. But I was wondering, like, is this art imitating life, or is this just good television narrative? And for me to think about multiple instances where movies where guys got divorced and started going downward as far as criminality, I never asked myself, why would they? Why are they being criminals now? It's because they got divorced and they got to pay alimony and not just child support, but more so lose their retirement. And then I was like, wait a minute. Because white collar criminals get away with way more than the average everyday person. Lot fraud, scamming, Ponzi schemes. And some people are in it for the money, in the rush. But a lot of people, are trying to get money back that they already lost. Primarily from, I would assume, divorce. I saw, I think O'Shea put this list up of all the richest people in America. And it's like 10 people and 8 of them are divorced. And people go, wow, well, if it can't work out for the mega wealthy, then what about the regular person? And then that's when it sparked to me that the regular person can't afford to have these payouts and live comfortably like these wealthy people. But on top of that, if you're not a wealthy person, then what do you have to make up the difference? It's the same way with if you get put on child support, you might have to get a second job or work overtime to make up the difference for what you lose in child support, right? Nobody's saying you shouldn't take care of your kid. That's not. But you might have to do something extra to make up the difference. For the people who've gotten divorced, and I've heard women who actually get a kick out of the fact that their ex-husband doesn't know that, when they retire, they're going to ask for the money from his retirement and pension, and they could have been divorced for 5-10 years. They don't know this type of stuff, which could put an older guy in a predicament where it makes him desperate. So if he's desperate, he's going to, desperate times, call for desperate measures. So is this a catalyst for white collar crime? Having those moments where guys want to keep up a lifestyle because their significant other wants to live a certain way. But to live that way, you got to cut corners. And I think in America, white collar crime is probably so easy to get away with that it's ridiculous. And people don't really take it into consideration, because they're nice people. They're robbing your family of their generational wealth, right? But you just don't see it because it's under the guise of a company or whatever, some big conglomerate or whatever. But you'll ask, what's the root cause? What was that doggone show? What was that movie? 21 Bridges with Chadwick Boseman. It had a little bit of that in it also, because guys got to make a little extra money on the side and this, that, and the third. And, it comes from, man, the wife's getting the pension and blah, 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 half of it. So now you got to have a little kiddie fund, right? So me just thinking about this, is it true or is it not true? But it crossed my mind. So you tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.